We certainly have a treat for you today. Yeah. Oh yes, another revolting video. Cream of Cards TV. Well, lovely YouTubers, thanks to you guys, I've finally done it. I've reached 1,000 subscribers, which I couldn't have achieved obviously without your help. Yeah, it's taken me nearly 5 years on YouTube to achieve that, so I don't think I'm exactly a natural at this kind of thing. Well, my YouTube adventures started way back in 2006 on another channel which was simply named Cream of Cards instead of Cream of Cards TV, and one of my earliest videos is the Beatboxing Chimp Champ, which is basically a very, very, very crude animation of a chimpanzee beatboxing. At the time I thought it would be quite funny and amusing, and anyway, now I'm completely ashamed of it. It's not one of the videos that I'm most proud of, but strangely enough, this is how YouTube works. It's been viewed by nearly a million times, but I hate it. And that's the way it goes. And then what I did, I created a completely new channel devoted to my collectibles, although I mixed in a few silly videos as well. There's quite a few, you know, such as the one that I put on the beginning of this particular video here. But collecting is my foremost passion, and if you go to my channel and you click on the title bar there, that will bring you through to my video, What Do You Collect? And you could, if you haven't already, upload a video of what you collect and add it as a video response to that one. Okay, what I want to do is give you a very, very brief overview of my videos. Now, the history of movies and cinema seems to be extremely popular on YouTube, which makes a lot of sense, because the history of cinema and movies is the history of YouTube and media as a whole. And quite a few of my sets of cards feature some of the earliest movie stars ever. And I've done who was the first movie star. Recently I've covered the first ever movie star card, 1920s glamour girls and so forth. So check those out. I've also videoed quite a few sets of movie star cards from the 30s right up until the 1950s, so have a look at those. Oh yeah, here's a really early one, 19-year-olds silent movie tricks. That's fascinating. And here's one that features Elvis Presley and a young Paul Newman, etc. And also, I'm sure loads of you have seen videos of women exposing their cleavages. I'm sure most blokes wouldn't like to admit that they're drawn to those videos, but judging by the viewing figures, they are. I don't really like to sell out, but I've done a few videos on glamour girls from as early as the 1900s, the 1920s, 1930s, right through until the 1970s. So if you like beautiful women in vintage clothes, don't forget to check those out. I don't just do videos on cards either. I also cover other collectibles such as coin weights, 18th century Irish coin weights, condor tokens from the 18th century, early aviation tokens, Irish gun money from 1690, a rare Cardiff token, a token celebrating the first ever mail coach. The 20th century was a melting pot for inventions and developments, and the cinema obviously totally transformed the 20th century. Just think, without those early movie stars that I showed some videos of, we wouldn't have the X Factor, Pop Idol, or the cinema, or television, or anything like that. So yeah, we owe a lot to those early stars, but also there were other inventions such as the motor car, the aeroplane, tanks, and quite a few sets of cards were devoted to those. This particular one, Early Aviation, was issued in 1910, just a few years after the first ever aeroplane flight by the Wright brothers. And then we've got the motor cars, some really early ones from 1901. Wow, you can't get them much earlier than that. As we know, the information revolution seems to spread democracy throughout the land. As we know from the printing press, the invention of the printing press that led to the French Revolution and the American Civil War of Independence. And during the 20th century, obviously the new phase of information revolution, cinema and stuff, brought about other colossal wars, such as the Second World War and the First World War. And I have quite a few sets of cards devoted to those particular wars. Propaganda, First World War, posters, and air raid precautions and such like, so check those out. Also, a lot of you will be fans of sport, football, boxing, golf. You'll be pleased to know that quite a few sets of cards were devoted to those subjects, and here's a popular one: Churchman's boxing celebrities, strange and weird sports, boxing again, football, 1920s football, football. So don't forget to check those out. And I've done videos on a whole host of other subjects, such as my resident hedgehog, my talking cats, beer drinking babies, butterflies, birds, owls, Native American Indians, drumming, and so forth. So you've got loads of videos to check through, and don't forget to rate them. And if you're not a subscriber yet, you've still got time. Oh no, I'm afraid we've run out of time. But just before you go, please leave thumbs up below, and if you'd like to see more amazing video clips like this,
subscribe to the channel
by clicking on the icon up in the sky. A Cream of Cards TV.